Hi everyone. Just getting set up here and getting started. So, these are books that I'm going to give away tonight. Of course, we have The Hello Country by Joshua Dunbar, and then I picked out four more that I'd like to find a home for. Um, so, yeah, we will hopefully be able to give these away tonight. I currently have Scamper in my lap. I don't know if I can show that. You can see her right there. So if I seem a little distracted, that's why. We've been having. Hi, Wildcat. Welcome. Welcome. We've been having some issues with. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Pamela. We've been having some issues again with Scamper lately. She got to where she didn't want to eat again, and she got to go to the vet, and the vet said that she thinks it's because she's got a lot of pain from arthritis and some other issues. So we tried a new type of pain shot that's been approved in the US that she's supposed to get monthly. And then we also tried her on gabapentin for a few days just to until that shot took effect, and she did great on the gabapentin. She was eating a lot less needy up, in my lap all the time, acting like she was hungry and then not wanting to eat. Then when we got she took all the gabapentin, she started having trouble again. So the pain shot doesn't really look like it's done anything. So moving forward, she's getting a small dose of liquid gabapentin. Oh, there she goes. So she had enough. She's getting a dose of gabapentin twice a day. So, but she is already she just started getting it yesterday, and she is doing great so far. I've already seen her eat more on her own in the last 24 hours than I have probably in the last couple days. So while, you know, her blood work and everything shows fine, while I mean there always could be something going on. We haven't done an ultrasound yet or an x-ray or anything. Whatever is going on, the gabapentin does seem to be helping with, and so she's doing a lot better. And so we are just at this point it is at this point it is just making sure that she's comfortable and she's happy. So I don't know where she went. She ran off. Okay. Hi, Valerie, Monique, Simply Ash. Hi, Loretta. Hi, Kim. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. So, as I was saying, these are the books that we're going to do giveaways for tonight. I'll probably wait till we're about 10, 15 minutes into. Oh, those are supposed to be there. Okay, cool. We'll probably wait about 10, 15 minutes in to get started just to give everybody a chance to come in. I did start a few minutes late. I was taking a nap this afternoon. I really wanted to actually do this tonight, just mostly because I mean, Josh was nice enough to do a giveaway copy again, and so I really wanted to try to get this out this month, and it's it's just been unfortunate just because I think a lot of it's just this time of year is like the worst for my fibro and like my allergies and stuff. I don't know. I mean, other seasonal changes affect me, but it's something about fall and just the constant up and down of the barometric pressure and the temperature in this area. But it just, I'm exhausted all the time. I can wake up some days and be aching in my back, in my chest, where I have that costochondritis that'll flare up. I've had that happen recently. My hips will flare up some days, and it's just like I said. I think this year, and it's a shame because I love fall. It's like one of my favorite times of the year, and it's like, but what comes with it is exhaustion and pain, and so that's really unfortunate. So, um, I've just been dealing with a lot of that this month, and it stinks because the time I do have off, like, on the weekends, I've spent a lot of it just kinda sleeping and existing on the couch. And, not really getting a lot of anything done, not a lot of coloring or anything done. Oh, but I do have something I can show y'all, oh gosh. Yeah, let me go get it. Give me just a second, guys. Let me go grab it because I was gonna show this to y'all tonight. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. So, I used to like crochet, and years ago, like I got to the point where I was able to crochet a blanket for my grandfather, and I really liked it. I got back out of it for a long time, and every time I start back into it, I just get so overwhelmed with it. And I kept seeing these pop up in advertisements on, like, TikTok and stuff, and they're called Woobles. I don't know if anybody else has seen these. And, basically, they're little crochet kits, and they have all kinds of these little, what are they called? Amiguri animals, like these little bitty animal kits that you can put together, and they're all encompassing kits. So they make their own yarn for these kits, which is a little bit it's a little bit thicker type yarn than what you typically would get. So I think it's really good for like beginners and stuff. But they come with like a crochet hook and a tapestry needle, stitch markers, all kinds of different things. And then they've got all these instructions and videos online that you can follow. And they're a little expensive, definitely for the kids, but I've been wanting to try them for a long time, and so one of the things I told myself when I got this job was that I was gonna get a couple of these and try them out. And so, I mean, they have all kinds, like, this one was the cat, this is one of their limited edition Halloween ones that I got. It actually comes with a little, extra that's like a little cape and a witch's hat, which is really cute. I've got one, it's like a little fox that I'm excited to try, and, they actually have bigger ones as well, I think more like intermediate kits, though I haven't had a chance to look at them yet, but they have like a really, uh, a bigger size version of the fox that has like a little backpack, and it's very cute. So, I did do one of these last night, and, mine looks a little rough just because I have not crocheted in a long time. But this is the little chick in the kits, and, well, he looks crooked. Yeah, he's a little crooked, but this was my very first attempt at crocheting, and I hadn't done it in a long time, and, they actually turned out a lot bigger than I thought, so I have a feeling I'm going to wind up collecting a lot of these, and so I've gotta figure out a way to display them, and hopefully the cats will leave them alone. I'm worried they're gonna get a hold of it and of them and treat them like toys, so but they are really cute. I actually had a lot of fun with this, and so, yeah, I just kinda wanted to show those and anyway, so, yeah, I'm like I said, I got all kinds. I got a little unicorn one and, just some different little kits, so I'm excited. It's something that like I said, I've been really struggling with doing anything lately that I enjoy coloring, anything that just isn't reading or just looking at TikTok videos all night, and, so it was nice to actually have a little kit. Oh, I know, right? And, honestly, I have one I might leave the eyes off of and just well, I don't know. I might see if the cats have any interest in them. If they do, I might make them one without the little safety eyes. That's the thing. If they're going to be used for pets, they recommend leaving the safety eyes off. So, if that's the case, I'll make them one and just leave the eyes off of them. But I'm hoping it'll kind of get me back into crocheting. So, hi Cassie, hi Cindy. Well, Valerie, like I was doing really well in this little chick, and then it got to finishing it off and the very top of it off, and mine didn't go quite the way the video showed, but I made it work. And then it was making and attaching the little beak and wings. I had to make a what they call a magic loop for that. The magic loop was actually already started for the chick's body, so I didn't have to do that. And that's like one of the hard things for beginners to learn is that magic loop. And by the time I did it 2 or 3 times, it looked a little better, but it still kind of wound up probably not looking the way it should exactly, but like good enough for me. So I would like to get back into doing blankets and stuff. One of the reasons is the cats, of course, love yarn. So they don't seem like they're all like, I guess, old and grumpy now because like none of them will play with it. No, none of them played with the yarn when I was messing with it this week, but, like, the cats I used to have, Tiger, oh my gosh, that cat, I could be completely silent crocheting something, and somehow that cat knew I had yarn out. He'd be across the house, and he'd show up, and he loved yarn. Um, I'll never let him play with it unsupervised, but that was, like, seriously, he was a simple cat, a little string like, playing with him, holding the string was, like, one of his favorite things to do, so yep, I've got actually a bunch of yarn upstairs that's not like the really expensive soft, um, type yarn that I probably would wanna do for projects, so that'll be what I wanna do. I also was looking at getting one of those, loom type kits, like the little round loops where you can make, like, hats and stuff really easily. Like, I thought that might be more my speed just because I don't really for one thing, my eyesight's not great, so it's really hard for me to focus on small little areas and details, and, like, I also don't have the patience for anything too complicated, so, like, this type of stuff is definitely being more my speed lately. Alright, let me go ahead and start getting our stuff up here. Let me get the stopwatch. Alright. And a random number generator. Alright, so the plan is I'm gonna do the giveaway, and then, whatever time we have left, I'll probably just get a color by number, just something we can just kinda color and chat with maybe. Hopefully, if I get to feeling a little better, my stomach's feeling a little queasy. I don't know why. It's very, very odd. But, like I said, I've just been feeling pretty off the last few weekends. So, I have 5 books for giveaway tonight. One that was kindly donated by Joshua Dunbar for a giveaway. We're going to do that one first. And then I found a few others. I actually got an extra of Mermaids Chibi Girls from Amazon when they were I was having problems with them shipping stuff to me. I got an extra copy of it. So like we'll do that one. I'm going to let this one go because I just don't as much as I enjoy how unique it is, I just don't think I'm ever going to color in it. Fairy Houses by Stephanie Ellsworth, and then one of my Elena Lazareva books. So just I have had so many new books coming in lately. I would like to get a few of them, a few of them to a home where they will be much more loved than they've been here. So, um, yeah, I know, right, Kim? That's what I'm saying. If there's any time. So, hi, Brooke, welcome. All right. So, if you haven't been a part of my giveaways, this is basically what we do. I take a book, I show, a few pages of it. If people are interested in it, then we do number choosing. So I'll set the stopwatch usually for a minute, and in the chat I'll put in start. Everybody puts in a number. Oh, like I'll say numbers to 50. And so everybody puts in a number, and then when the timer stops, why am I blanking out of some? When the timer stops, we do a random number generator off of random.org, and the person closest without going over wins the book. Now, for the books, these are US only just because of shipping costs. If I do have anybody international in the chat at the end, then I might do a book depository giveaway, but we'll just I try to at least do one of those if they're international people, because I know they get left out of a lot of giveaways. So, um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Just put in one number. The person, if somebody else picks your number, then I don't know, mods. How do you want to handle that? Do you want to give them a chance to pick another number, or do you want to say the first person that picked the number gets it? Like, what? How do you guys want to do that? Yeah, when we say start and stop on the numbers, the first person who picks it. Okay. So get your numbers in as quick as you can. Just in case somebody else does pick your number, then we will go with the first person. So, the mods are going to help me keep that in check. So, I that's why I was asking them whatever they're more comfortable with. So we'll do start, and then everybody will put their numbers in. We'll hit stop. We'll pick the number. And usually during the numbers portion, we try to keep the chat limited just because it's easier to find the number we're looking for. And remember, it is the closest number without going over. So if somebody picks 37 and somebody picks 42 and the number is 40, the person that's 37 is going to get it. Even though 42 is technically closer, it's the closest without going over the number. Okay? Everybody got that? Good? Yes? Okay. All right. Let's get started. Let me get some sticky notes just so I can write people's. Oh, and if you win the book, I'm going to put my email address in the. Um, sorry, now I'm knocking stuff everywhere. I'm going to put my email address in the chat. Please email me your mailing address. Try to do it within about 2 weeks, because I try to get these out in 2 weeks. And if you don't send it to me, it just goes right back into my stack of books to give away, and it will be available at a future date. So let me do one thing. Just want to make sure I have the right email address this time, because I messed up last time. All right. There, that will be the email address that we're using. That is the correct one. I actually made sure I got it right this time. Okay. So, first up, of course, is our featured giveaway, Hello Country Fall. I did a color and chat in this, I think, last weekend, and I loved it. I love this book. Oh, wait. Are these? Yeah, that was from his other books. Hang on. Let me get here. There we go. So, beautiful book. I really love the scenes in this one. We're not going to do a full flip through, but if you're familiar with his work, then it is definitely very classic. That's the picture I did last weekend with markers and pencils, and it was a lot of fun. I just really enjoy his books. I think the last giveaway video I did, actually, he was nice enough to have a copy of the 80s book to give away, which was super cool. So, um, Hi, Jenny. Welcome. All right. So, just to be sure, people are interested in doing the giveaway for this book, right? Like in the chat. Let's put yes, just to make sure there are people interested in this book giveaway. I'm assuming yes, but I just want to be sure. Okay. Okay. Great. Awesome. And also, my mods are allowed to participate if they so choose. I do that just that I feel like as a giveaway person, I that's just one of my rules. So they can participate if they so choose, because this is a random number generator. I mean, nobody's going to be able to guess which numbers. As long as I don't participate, then So if they want to participate, I feel like they can, and so that's yeah, that's that. So, anyway, all right. So we're going to do um okay, great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Just wanted to make sure. So we're going to do 1 to 100 on this one since there's so many yeses. So pick a number when we put start in the chat, put in a number between 1 and 100, and then we will go for a minute, and then we will generate the number. So are ready, set, start. 1 to 100. Oh, yeah, I can't see there you go. Man, why is it so dark? There we go. Woo, look at those numbers. I may not need a full minute, but actually, let me refresh this page and make sure. What in the world is this doing? Okay, that's weird. I don't know what that was about. Okay. I just wanted to refresh it, make sure it was completely refreshed. All right, 20 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, well, close enough. Stop. All right. Yes, blink, blink, blink. I have a new phone, so still trying to get used to it. All right, ready? Woo. Got to do the little magic thing on it. And the number is 12. So looking here, I see 11 from Wildcat 1146. And just want to make sure nobody actually had 12. Yes, yes, yes. My mods agree. Perfect. Wildcat. Love your name, by the way. Wildcat, you are the winner of Hello Country Fall. Awesome. Yay. Woohoo. All right. Let me write this down. Now, what I do is I will be sending these through the post office, their media mail option, and I get tracking numbers. So as soon as I get these to the post office, and boy, I bet I'm gonna have to get more envelopes. So it might be a few days. I just realized I think I'm out of shipping envelopes. Um, Once I get these post office, I'll get a whole bunch of tracking numbers, and so I'll email you when I get your mailing address to let you know I got it, and then I will email you when I get your tracking number so that you can track it as well. So awesome. So yeah, was super nice of Josh. I always appreciate when he does that. He seems to really enjoy the color and chats and my flip throughs. So he's just I really enjoy his artwork, and I I would love to color in his books more. I feel like I could say that for all my books, but, like, yeah, especially here lately, it's been tough. I'm really glad I got that one done, um, last weekend. Wish I could find it. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, if you guys didn't get a chance to see that last week, on Instagram or anything, this was the version of that picture I did. And it was so nice, y'all. It was so nice to just sit down with some markers and some colored pencils and just, I don't know, just take some time to work on a picture. I just really haven't had a chance to do that in months. And so it not last weekend, it was the weekend before. See, that's time's going back quick. It's going back quick. Oh, adult content warning. Yeah, there's always a chance that there's adult content here. I feel like really at this point, it should be an assumption rather than a warning, Loretta. Usually, I used to do late night color and chats, and I miss doing those. But yeah, the late night ones would tend to get a little spicier. I generally try to keep the giveaways a little cleaner, just because I know there's a variety of people that want to participate. Usually, if I'm going to have a colorful, like quote colorful, um, color and chat or live stream, I let you guys know up front, just in case some people that's not their thing, and that's totally cool. I mean, so I try to keep it pretty PG, around PG-13 around here, so but anyway, all right, so I actually have an Alexandra Franzese book to give away too, which is really cool because I love her stuff too. And, so what happened was I was having a lot of trouble with the US Postal Service and Amazon shipping through them. There was, like, a period of time there in the summer where we weren't getting stuff, and it was taking 2 weeks to get here, and it was the distribution center in Nashville. And, like, I gotta say this, I did a customer service, like, a request to Amazon. I had, like, 8 orders I had issues with, and they refunded or made right, like, every single one of those orders. I was really surprised, and something must have been said or something must have changed because we really haven't had those issues ever since, so that turned out real nice, thank goodness. But, in the midst of all that, I wound up with an extra copy of Mermaids Chibi Girls. And Tammy likes to tease me because I am not usually huge on coloring mermaids. However, I have to say this is one of my favorite mermaid books. Mermaids aren't typically a something I like to color very much. However, this book is adorable and probably my favorite mermaids book that I have. Now, this book I feel like I can make an exception for. Actually, she would be a really cute one to color this weekend if I could just. Next month's gonna have to be more Halloween coloring for me. I've gotten almost none done, and I miss it. And so we're gonna probably I'll be continuing with my Halloween coloring next month. So, yep, Loretta, it's kind of been that way with me too. I've been sticking more just to color by number pages because when I do get a free moment to color, like I just feel overwhelmed with the idea of picking a palette, trying to use different mediums. Like, I've got all these paints and stuff just sitting here, and like hadn't used paints in a while. And do I use watercolors? Do I use pencils? Do I use markers? And it's like it just overwhelms me so much to the point where I just don't do it. I'm just like, nope, I'm gonna go over here and just scroll on my phone, doom scroll on my phone for a while on Twitter and do that instead, which is not productive at all. And I need to be doing less of that. But it's been like that for me too. That page that I just showed you guys, I really didn't think I was going to do it because just the thought of starting a page, and it's been a couple months since I've really been able to just do some really intense coloring, just felt so overwhelming, I didn't know if I could start it. And I had to talk myself into it like, "Hey, okay, so I'm just gonna do straight coloring with markers We're going to do markers on this page and then we're going to see. And if I decide that I'm happy with it with the markers, then we'll just leave it with the markers. And so then I got done with it. I liked it so much. I said, okay, I feel like I can go further with the pencils. And just picking something and just getting started was the biggest, I guess, the biggest piece of advice I could give to anybody else doing that is just getting started on a small section of the page and then just picking colors as you go along, like, that helped a lot, and like I said, the it was actually turned out to be really enjoyable, and I should take my own advice and continue to do that. I may actually do a page out of this book this weekend, but yeah, yeah, that's one of the things, Valerie, I really like about Alexandra Franzese is it has just a touch of grayscale and shading around the edges. So, like, ooh, there was a pirate one in there too. I just saw that. Let me see here. Where is my copy? Is that it? No, that's Country Chibis. There it is. So I've only done one in my copy, but this was the one I did when I first got the book. And so like hers, I really like using light pastel colored markers and then um emphasizing that shading with a little bit like going back over with that same marker just in a darker outline. And so they turn out real pretty. And these are just really cute pictures. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, I have a ton of Halloween color by numbers. So that's really what I've been doing. So, oh, Susan, no problem. No worries. The way I yap around here, if you've never been to one of my live stream giveaways, I may have a handful of books to give away, but it'll take an hour and a half to do it just because I try to talk a little in between, give people time to show up and plus it's the Saturday before Halloween. A lot of trunk or treats are going on. Some communities may be doing their trick or treating tonight. um, some people, have Halloween parties and stuff going on. So I was really going to not, I wanted to do this last weekend to try to avoid all that, but things happen and here we are. So don't worry about that, Susan. So, all right. So Mermaid Chibi Girls, do I have interest in this book? Yes or no? Okay, cool. Let me get my But yeah, no, I try to spread out the giveaways, just like I said, to give people time to hop on if that maybe they have to miss the first hour or something, they can still join and be a part of it. So cool, cool. Hi, Emily. Welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh, Loretta. I I don't ever go inside Walmart anymore as it is if I can help it. I am my local Walmart fortunately does uh what's it called? The pickup orders there, still. And so pretty much if I go to Walmart, it's for a big grocery trip. And so usually I'll just do a pickup order. And I'm really lucky that I can do that. But yeah, especially on a holiday, I wouldn't go into Walmart, man. I guess, oh yeah. Yeah, no, I understand that because those are I had a med that's late in the mail, and I was gonna call the pharmacy today to ask where it was at because they were, supposed to ship it out, like, Monday or Tuesday, and it's still not here. I called them, and they were closed today. A pharmacy was closed on a Saturday, and my local one of my local pharmacies is closed on Saturdays. And I was like, "That's crazy." I mean, I know people need time off, don't get me wrong, but it's like the way insurance companies are with certain med refills, like you can't get them refilled early. You have to get them filled on a certain date. So you would think like a pharmacy would at the very least, maybe be closed on Sunday, but I'm just shocked it was closed on a Saturday. So now I've got to ration that med and wait till Monday, I guess, to figure out where it's at because the mail's certainly not going to deliver it tomorrow. So, wow, that's so odd. Oh, man, that is yeah, and now I will say for the one med I have that they just refuse to refill except for exactly, like, 30 days before or whatever, the Ambien that I get, for my insomnia. Now, if they're closed on Saturday, they will let me pick it up on Friday, I will say that, but it's just yeah, I have to remember that, though. I have to, like, count out and remember that because if I don't, and then I'm like, "Oh, wait, I don't need it till Saturday," and then I forget they're closed on Saturday, then, well, that's on me, and I'm in trouble till Monday, especially if it's a 3-day weekend. So, anyway, okay. Oh, those kits? Yep. So the Woobles are like I said, they are a bit expensive for kits, for crochet kits, to be quite honest. I had wanted them for a long time, and really until I got this new job, I didn't really wanna invest too much in them. So they are a little expensive, but I do love that they are self-contained kits and that, like, you could just buy one and you don't need to buy crochet hooks or anything like stitch markers or yarn. It's all encompassed in it, and the videos are really good, like the step-by-step tutorials on how to do the different crochets, and the different techniques and stuff, and the kit I had with the chick already had the magic loop piece on the bottom started, so I didn't have to do that part when I started it, which was really nice. So, anyway, I will look at the website, here, let me pull up this website, and then we're gonna do this second giveaway. Alright. There's the site for the Woobles, if any of you are interested in those, so and they do, like, limited edition kits. Like I said, this cat one I meant to grab. It has a little orange cape and a little hat that comes with it, because it's one of the Halloween limited edition ones, and I had a lot of yarn left over from the chick, so, like, I might have enough leftover yarn from some of the kits to just make another one if I want to or something, so, anyway, okay. Yep, just the one. We're doing this one now. Hi, Julie, welcome, welcome. Alright, so Mermaid Chibi Girls, we are going to oh, I missed enabling colorist. Hello. Let's do 1 to 100. Hi, Yvonne. Welcome, welcome. So we're going to do 1 to 100 again. I'm going to give you guys a minute. Put your numbers in after I hit start in the chat. And we're going to be playing the giveaway game for this one. All right, 1 to 100, it's going to be the closest to the number generated without going over. So ready, set, go. So yeah, Yvonne, we're doing the giveaway for we've done the Joshua Dunbar book giveaway. Now we're on to this one, which is Mermaid Chibi Girls by Alexandra Franzese. Every time I get ready to do one of these, I realize I need like game show music, and every time I forget. Probably because I need to do live streams more often. I was sitting there, I was like, "Was it really July? Like, has it really been that long since I've done a live stream?" And yes, yes, it has. It's crazy how different my life was when I did the live stream back in July. 10 seconds, because that was before I found out that my contracting job was ending. 3, 2, 1, stop. All right. So, generating a number between 1 and 100. 52. So let's have a look here. What did I say? 52. 40. What is going on with my brain tonight? Come on. It's closest without going over, I believe, is Susan. Mods, let me know. Oh, Kim is verified it. So, Susan, it looks to me like you came in just on time here. Susan will be it. Yep. Yay. Yep. All right, Yvonne. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. Ah, dang it. Hang on. Lost my email. All right, Susan. Email me with your mailing address. And let me write your name down on here. No, it's all right, Loretta. I was doing the same thing. For some reason, all the numbers were like, it took me 2 or 3 times going through the list. I just wanted to be sure. So, yay. What are you doing, Scamper? Hi, Amanda. Welcome. I am doing okay. Okay. I am still feeling a little yucky today, but I got in a nap this afternoon, so I'm hanging in there. Scamper for some reason is in the on the bed doing something. Hi Cindy Lee, welcome. How are you doing, Amanda? Oh gosh. So, yeah, just winners don't please don't forget to send me your mailing address because I mean I've had that happen a couple times in the past, and basically what happens is the book just goes right back into the giveaway pile for another future giveaway. So, just don't forget to do that. I'll let you guys know if you do it during the live stream or after. I'll check it later tonight and let you guys know. Make sure you guys know I received it because I know there's also been some issues with getting it. You can also message me on Instagram. I'm also Kits and Caboodles over there, like all one word. So it's really, I guess, your preference on how you want to do that. Whew, man, it is like y'all, I wake up and it is cool outside, like it's 40, and then by the end of the day, it's like it climbs up to 70 and it just I don't know, like I'll be cold first thing in the morning and then I'm just like sweating by halfway through the day. It's just Tennessee temperatures, y'all. I tell you, if it wasn't for my parents and wanting to live close to them, I would totally move somewhere that had a little less swing in temperature. It's not a specific temperature or weather pattern that really bothers me. It's the transition periods. Like right now, today it'll get up to 70. In a day or two, a big cold front will sweep through and we'll have 40 and 50-degree days for a couple days, and then it'll slowly warm back up to 70 again, and then we'll have another one sweep through, and it'll happen 2 times a week. And so every time that cold front sweeps through, or that we start swinging back to the warmer temperatures, my body just goes haywire. I get extremely tired. Like I said, all my joints in random order decide to hurt in random combinations, just depending on what feels like hurting that day. And I even get to feeling a little nauseous, kind of like I am right now. So I may have to go take some of my medicine here in a little bit, but for now I'm good. Hi, Danielle. Welcome. Woo, go Phillies. Thank you so much for coming by and saying hi. I always appreciate it. Yeah, I completely forgot about the World Series going on right now. I don't watch a lot of like televised sports. I do watch some college basketball just because my dad raised me to be a Kentucky Wildcat fan. So yeah, I'm a University of Kentucky college basketball fan. That's about all I watch. But I love live games. Like if I ever have the chance to go to like a live baseball game or a live football game, I love it. I love it. They're just so much fun. I just don't typically watch much televised sports, but like watching a live game's always a really fun experience. I don't know why. I've been to a couple games at the Titans Field in Nashville, which they are in the process of building a new one. And oh boy, controversy all the day long there, because the current Titan Stadium's an open air stadium and they want to build an enclosed one. And so obviously that's going, instead of renovating the old one, they just want to build a new one. And so that's been a very controversial issue for Nashville right now. I live about an hour north of Nashville. If you're not if you haven't been here long or don't know, I live right real close to the Kentucky state line. It's about a 10-minute drive. My vet's actually in Kentucky, where I take the cats all the time. A lot of times we go shopping in Kentucky because their sales tax is less than Tennessee. So sometimes we can find some really good deals shopping across the line. And but no, I live about an hour and some change north of Nashville, and I actually used to commute to Nashville for my job years ago, and living here, and that is not something I would ever recommend to anyone. And fortunately, I found a work from home position about 10 years ago. And then the newest job that I got also allows me to work remotely. So I am very fortunate, because there're just not a lot of jobs for me in my area. I'm in a very rural area. So, oh, Loretta, I saw you posting about that on Facebook where you were having issues with your AC unit. What is, I mean, if you're having actual issues with the unit not heating and cooling properly, I mean, unless that filter's never been changed, I really don't think changing the filter is gonna do anything. I mean, I've been down this route before. We just got our new unit in last year, about a year ago, and, yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why they're telling you that. Hohenwald. Oh, that is awesome, Sandra. Hello, fellow Tennessean here. Loretta, if she doesn't mind me saying, is also a Tennessean. So, oh, you are on the west side. So we got Western Tennessee represented, we got Eastern Tennessee represented, and Middle Tennessee represented. That is pretty cool. Very, very cool. Connecticut, Michigan. I'm always curious where people are from. I think where I live, it's sometimes it feels like such a small world. I guess, like, because it's so rural, it's so, I don't know, like, sometimes it when I the jobs I've worked, most of the people I work with right now actually are on the West Coast. People I've worked with in the past have been all up and down the East Coast and even global. And, like, I feel like sometimes if I'm not careful, sometimes it gets to feel like it's such a small world, like here where I'm at in this little small town in Tennessee. And so I guess I'm always fascinated, like, that, I don't know, this sounds so cheesy and so silly, but it fascinates me that I can be in this small town area and still be able to meet people from across the world all the time, and just get to know people from different places, and just kinda it makes you feel like get get a sense of how big the world really is, right? Like, it's like, "Oh, wow," like, that's why I like to travel so much too. Like, I love traveling to different places, and, it just helps me keep things in perspective, I guess, and realize that there's just so many different people, and places, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm blanking out, and I'm sounding cheesy and weird. But I love it, go Vols. Yeah, I live in Tennessee, but my heart, unfortunately, is blue. My dad was raised right across the line in Kentucky, and, I was raised a Kentucky, sports fan. I don't watch it as much as I used to when I was a kid, but I guess if I have a team I'm rooting for, not Louisville, Kentucky, though. But yeah, I'm all about the SEC though. Like, anytime we play in like the NCAA tournament or playing football, whatever, if I can't root for Kentucky, it's always going to be the SEC team I'm rooting for. So yeah, like I said, we got Detroit. Oh, lost hang on, filter. Even the landlord came and said something was wrong with it. Wow. Ontario, that's awesome. One of the people that was on my team at my previous job was based out of Ontario. Canada is definitely on my list of places to visit. There have been times that I've seriously considered moving to Canada. If your housing issues in some of the areas wasn't, I've heard the housing at like housing issues and house prices are really crazy depending on where you wanna live in Canada, and, so I've heard that, there's, there's some different things, plus it takes a long time to become a Canadian citizen, but my husband and I have actually talked about that a few times, but, I think mostly we'd have to have a reason to move to Canada, instead of just saying, "Hey, we just wanna pack up and move." Wisconsin, Maryland, New Mexico, Michigan, Georgia, Minnesota, Connecticut, a football fishing town. I like that. An island in Ohio. Oh, I like that. Toronto, Ontario. Michelle Focus. You know how this goes. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that's you do know how it goes. We're gonna get here. We're gonna get here. Um, this is I think that I actually named this the live stream giveaway in chat. Like, I don't even think I put coloring in it because I know better. I know better. Um, but 1900 plus utilities. And you know the crazy part, enabling colors? You know the crazy part about that? Where I live, north of Nashville, yes, Loretta said the same thing. Where I live and, like, in Nat like, north of Nashville, as you get like, let's say you drive 30 minutes to the lower part of my county, the ones that are basically they live in it's called Gallatin or Harrisonville is the name of the towns. They're, like, right outside of Nashville. A lot of people live there and commute. There are apartments going for that price here. That's the crazy part, like, I believe it because I've seen it, and I'm not saying, like, brand new townhomes either, like, I'm talking apartments and little, apartments that are older, apartments that haven't been kept up very well, like, places that you would just I look at that and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, the oof, blows my mind, blows my mind, it's crazy." Lobster bisque capital of Ohio. I've never had lobster bisque. Now I'm curious. That's right. You're absolutely right. And it's even It's an issue around here where I live. I mean, this small town is probably the last the they've pushed so, like, anybody that's on fixed income or anybody that I'll say this and then we'll do because then now we're gonna start getting into issues and I don't wanna upset anybody. This is supposed to be lighthearted, and I don't wanna I don't, these topics need to be talked about, and I'm very passionate about them, but I also don't want people to feel I don't want this to turn what's the word? Controversial. There we go. But no, prices have went up so much in Nashville that they've pushed a lot of people that are on fixed income, like the elderly, out of Nashville through gentrification, through there, I used one of those words, through just the rate, how increase in house and rent prices. And they shifted them up and outside of Nashville. And now all the places around Nashville are getting to the price point where they can't live there either. So now they're getting shifted out to my area, and now my area is getting priced out for them. So really, the only options they have at this point are either moving in with family or going even more rural, maybe up into Kentucky or over into the next county, kind of going towards East Tennessee for us. But then, of course, a lot of those people are limited, like they may have limited mobility issues, and if you're in an area that doesn't have like you don't have family to drive you places and you're in a rural area where you can't get Uber or Lyft or I mean, how do these people get to appointments? How do these people get to it's it's like I said, I think a lot about this and it's unfortunate and it is something that there are no easy solutions for, but it is something that I feel like does not get enough attention. And it is no wonder so many people are homeless. You were absolutely right. And I agree with you. Okay. Hi, Suzanne, Norway. Awesome. Yeah, no problem. I completely understand. Thanks. I'm so glad you let us know. Like I said, I always love, like I said, love the fact that you can connect with people all over the world on the internet. Like we're so used to it now, but like I guess I'm old enough that now I'm kind of an old lady myself, and I I'm part of that generation. So I was born in '81, so I'm a part of that generation that grew up and as I was getting into high school was really when like computers well, even in middle school and high schools really when computers and technology and the internet really started becoming a thing. So I do remember what it's like to not have the ability to do this. I think a lot of times when you spent years and years being able to do this, sometimes it's easy to forget like how recent it's been that it wasn't that easy to, meet so many people and from different places. So I guess, like I said, I guess I'm a bit of a softie when it comes to that kind of stuff. So Indiana, hello, Kim Alderson. We got another Kim here. Hi, Kylie's welcome. I'm not Amanda, I wish I was 29. I'm 41. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Loretta, and Loretta, your situation's one I definitely when I'm talking about that, it's what I keep in mind. I wish you lived I wish you had a place that had more options than your area, but your area is even more rural than mine. So, and there's not a lot of options here, so I can't imagine. Yes, hello to everyone. Welcome. Welcome. So, all right. I'm sorry. I know. I'm focusing, Kim. I'm focusing, I promise. All right, Alice's Wonderfilled Adventures. This is by Abigail Larson, a curious coloring book for adults. So, this one's really cool. I like the different style of art in this. It's like um I don't know how to explain it. Like, the cat looks a little scrungy, but I'm pretty okay with that. Like, I like the scrungy look of this dragon here. Scrungy is good word for it. There's the Mad Hatter one. That's probably the one you're talking about, Loretta, where we're talking about the Mad Hatter image. Oh, I love the Cheshire Cat in this. He looks absolutely terrifying, and I am here for it. I love adorable Cheshire Cats, and I love, like, disturbing Cheshire Cats, like and he is definitely on the disturbing end of the spectrum, and I love it. But it's just, like I said, it's got a really different feel to it. Definitely more of a creepy kind of maybe like a Tim Burton kind of feel to it, maybe would be a good way to describe it. I've held on to it and I keep saying I want to color in it and I never do. And I'm just to the point where I just want to find another home for it, somebody else that's going to actually color in it. Dramatic and sketchy. Yes, that is a great way to put it. I'm having a lot of trouble with my words tonight. See, and this is what happens. Brain fog is another thing. Like it just yeah, I'm having trouble with my words tonight. So, anybody interested in this book for a giveaway, please put yes in the comments. Oh, 93. There you go. Oh, we got Australia too. So Norway and Australia. Awesome. Autumn baby. No, no, you're not. Cool, cool. Alright, awesome. Yeah, well, okay, Kim, yes. As a whole, I really am not that well focused. I'm not focused at all. As a whole, I'm not doing great in terms of the whole focus thing. I'm trying though, isn't that what's important? I'm trying. Oh, and we got Virginia. It does feel like my brain is all over the place tonight, though. Like, I'm just easily distracted tonight. All right. So we've got interest in this. Oh, thank you, Kim. Yeah. Yeah, you knew you already knew what you were signing up for with me. So really, are we surprised at all? All right. So I'm not sure how many people are interested in this one, but we're gonna I guess we'll do 0 to 100 again. Wait, how many yeses did I get here? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's go ahead and do 0 to 100 again. When I put start in the chat, pick a number between 0 and 100, and we'll give it a minute. And then when I hit stop, we're going to pick a number. It'll be the closest without going over wins. For those of you that have just joined, ready, set, go. Oh, we're not doing too bad. This is the third book in an hour. I that's sarcasm. I'm not sure if that came across well. Yeah, US only, guys. I'm sorry. International, I'm gonna have a special giveaway at the end for you, so just hang on a tick. I got you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have said that. But just like I said, if we have international people at the end, I got a giveaway for you too. So it's just shipping in the US has been going up, so it's even worse internationally. All right. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, stop. All right. There we go. Alrighty. So, woo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And 86. So let's see here. Closest without going over. Emily, nice. Uh, think Melissa's got it. Yay! Look, I may be 41, but mentally I am still 12. Congrats. Congrats, if you will, to Melissa 61272. Your mailing address at so just email me your mailing address, Melissa, and let me get your name written down. Mm, alright. Cool, cool. Oh yeah, Electra, me too. Me too. My husband and I, like, we're still kids at heart. We well, at least your range is closer there, Emily, than mine. Actually, I feel like mine gets my I feel like I kind of get younger the older I get in my head. But no, yes, we are still young at heart around here, and I don't know. I'm sure at some point my parents probably were like, "Oh, they'll grow out of it," and we really haven't grown out of it. So, yes, it's book 1 in the series, Kim. Sorry about that. I was like, "What?" No. If I haven't grown up by 50, I didn't yeah. Yep, absolute truth right there. I don't know, we still laugh at stuff that probably I'm not exactly a highbrow person, I guess, let's just put it that way. But, yeah, so oh my gosh. God, it's 1,000 degrees in here. It doesn't help I have long sleeves on. That's part of my problem. I'm hot-natured, I don't know why I own anything long sleeves, I should know better. Alright, so this is, Teeny Bopper and Grumpy Old Crone. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I guess that does depend on, what day it is, right? Like, well, I'm 41, my body feels like it's, like, probably 60, but my brain my mind feels like it's 20, so I don't know. Oh my gosh, I was watching TikTok last night, and I was watching, like, some of the dance videos, and I was sitting there and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I wanna do that." Like, I don't wanna do TikTok dance videos, like, I'm not gonna no, there will be no videos of me dancing. But, like, some of the stuff looks so fun, and I actually really enjoy, dancing. When prior to COVID being a thing, they would have, somebody was doing weekly dance classes here, and they still do, and I actually really enjoyed going to those, and, I that's the most fun I have, I think, when I exercise is when I do the dance stuff. But I have to be real careful. It's taken a long time for me to figure out that, like, right now during this time of year wouldn't be a good time to do it because I have so much inflammation in my joints that just bending over and picking up something the wrong way can make stuff hurt for days. And so if I try to do anything super intense right now, it's I'm gonna hurt myself. So I have to kind of wait for like the inflammation to die down to do it. And it took me years to figure out when I don't need to, exercise as much and when periods of time it's okay to exercise. And this time of year, it's not a good time. But also there was one time I looked at myself in the mirror during one of those dance classes, and I felt like I looked like my brother trying to dance. I've never shown pictures of my brother, or maybe I have, I don't know. My brother's the one I go on trips with all the time, and he's 12 years younger than me, and he's 6 foot at least. I think he might be 6'2", but he's like 6 foot tall. He's the tallest person in my family, and, him dancing is not a very smooth looking experience, I guess. Is I'm just saying I thought I looked like my brother dancing, and so that horrified me so much, I was like, "I'm never looking in the mirror again." Hot flashes. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, that's probably what it is, Kim. Yeah, let's get my, hot flashes. Wouldn't surprise me. Oh, yeah, I heard you were doing um I saw you were trying to get your physical therapy squared away. I hope you can get that taken care of and then get all that looked at. Like, I knew you were having problems with your wrist a while back, but I didn't realize you were having like, it's like it all just started to fall apart on you, Loretta. What is going on? Oh, that's good, that's good. Yeah, Brooke, he's let's see, I think he'll be 30 next year, so he's 29 now. So it's well, we're 12 years apart certain times of the year. His birthday's in April and mine is in May. So, yeah, next year he'll be 30, and we talked about it. So we usually just right now we've only been to New York and Philadelphia together, but we go to Philadelphia every year together for a gaming convention, and he likes to travel as much as I do, and so we're trying to come up with some different ideas. I would have really liked for his 30th to be able to go to Europe, but like um it's gonna take a few more years. We're actually thinking when he turns 35, we might do a big trip like that. That's just especially with me just starting this new job, I'm not comfortable trying to take, like, 2 whole weeks off or something to go. I need a few more years to prep for that. Hopefully now we can go more places. I don't know, I'll have to see. It's really just limited in what kind of vacation time. I only have 2 weeks right now, but then I have personal days I could add to that if I need to. But, oh, what I was saying about the dance classes is they've started back up at the VFW here in town, but I don't wanna go because, with my health issues, I still feel like I need to mask, and, I don't feel like I can do any intense exercise like that with a mask on without, um I already get out of breath as it is just because 'cause I'm out of shape, and so, it's just I don't feel for me, it's safe to do that right now. Maybe, hopefully, at some point in the future, it will be, but, for now, I've thought about, we've got some Just Dance games on the Xbox and stuff. I've thought about starting those back up, but I've got to wait for all this t weather stuff to settle down and for the inflammation in my body to settle down a bit before I try that. Otherwise, I will be in like traction for a week. So it's my knees that don't miss dancing. My feet and hips don't. Yeah, my hips and my knees are like my everything from my hips to my knees are my biggest problems when it comes to dancing or anything else. When I get flare ups of pain from overdoing it exercise wise, those are usually the it's I have bursitis in my hips, and then my knees flared up real bad last year too. So those are my issues. Oh boy, knees and hips replaced. Goodness. It all just sorta kicked in by once. I have to be in bed by 11. What are you saying, Kim? What are you saying? Alright. Okay, fairy houses. So this is a series of books by Stephanie Ellsworth. There's either 3 or 4 books in the series. It's Fairy Houses. This is the very first book in the series. It doesn't have like a 1 or 2 anything beside it. I like these books, but again, I just haven't colored in this one yet, and because I don't typically color a lot of houses and stuff, it's a really cute book, and I actually maybe one day if I get to where I like coloring houses and exteriors and stuff more, I will pick up the collection. But for right now, it's just kind of sitting here gathering dust. So I kind of want to find a new home for it. But they're really cute pictures. I like this one a lot with the little picnic basket right there. Just unique little houses. Saying nothing. All right. Do I have interest in this book? Yes or no? Cool. All right. Yeah, I think we're just gonna get probably do Philadelphia again next year. My brother and I just we actually talked about driving next year, which it's like a 13-hour drive. I don't really want to do that, but he's got a couple friends. He's one of his friends, he lives in my town. Bless his heart, he just refuses to get on a plane. Just won't do it. So he really would like his friends to be able to come. And so I said, "Well, 1 year we can try driving it." And so, I think that's what we're kinda thinking of doing next year. And if we split up the driving, it won't be so bad. But, like, I hate long drives and they wear me out. So but I do want I think he would really enjoy it. He likes hanging out with me. We always have a good time, but, like, I know it's different with your friends than it is with your sister, and so I still wanna go too because this is I always enjoy it too, and his friends are a lot of fun, so I don't mind hanging out with them, but, so I think next year we're gonna try to drive it, which means I'll have to take a few extra days off so we can do that. This year, our flight actually had gotten canceled on Thursday, and we ended up having to fly to New York and take Amtrak to Philadelphia because they wouldn't move our car rental to New York, and it was a big to-do, and it was a very long day, and I do not recommend. It was nice we were able to do that because otherwise we would either had to drive or cancel, but it was really nice that we were, like, able to come up with a backup plan, but it was a lot. So alright, cool. So we're gonna do same, 0 to 100, closest without going over. I'll give you guys a minute. Ready, set, go. And that's why I don't travel. This is the first year that happened, Loretta. I mean, we've been going up there. This might be our 5th year, maybe? Let me look at my collection over here. 1, 2. This is either our 4th or 5th year going because there's a purple one too somewhere. So, um, but yeah, like I said, it'll be interesting. Alright. I was gonna keep talking, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be keeping the chat clear." So, alright. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, stop. Alright. Okay. Ready? 23. Oh, I think Kim's right on it with 23. Right on the money. Boy, we had a 21, a 22, a 23, and a 24. That was yep, hit the bullseye. I like it. Kim, I figure you probably know my email address, but I'll just go ahead and tell you that. So, yay. See, see, put up with my pull up with my bull hockey and you get it all works out. It all works out. Oh my gosh, that is too funny. Oh, that's too funny. Oh gosh. Actually, though, I am getting to travel a bit without my brothers. So one of the things I didn't know when I interviewed for the job and then I took the job was that I they want me to travel once a quarter for on-site job, like team building, like once every quarter or something, which has turned out to be more like every other month to start, I guess, just because there's been so much going on. So I got to go to Seattle in September. I'm going to San Diego in December, and I probably will be going to LA in February for a specific conference that is optional, but they like for us to go to. So right now it's kind of turning into every other month. And so it's really cool. I mean, I'm getting a chance to see a lot more right now of just the US. Hopefully, maybe that'll change down the road where, I can travel internationally. But that's been a nice perk. I've actually enjoyed that. It's been a little weird being on my own. I've really only traveled once before on my own. Well, no, I take that back. My old job I had to go to years ago, the one in Nashville, I had to go to New York once, but my coworker was going with me, so I really wasn't traveling on my own. I had to go for a job interview in North Carolina years ago. That was like the only trip I've ever fully took on my own up until September. So it's been interesting, and I'm kind of eager to get to see more of the country like this, and it works out. Yeah, that's fine, Kim. I it's really neat, and there's going to be some flexibility on where we meet for the team on sites because we're kind of scattered across the US, so they want to um like meet in different places so that the same people don't have to fly all the time. So, like, 2 of my coworkers live in San Diego, so this way they don't have to fly if they don't want to. They can, stay in a hotel if they don't wanna commute, but, because most of us work remote. And, so, like, this time they won't have to fly. And, so eventually they may even do Nashville, which would be great because I wouldn't have to fly, but I may still have to, like, stay in a hotel a night or 2 because it's just such a long drive to Nashville. And when we do these I figured out in Seattle, when we do these team on-site things, they want to do the whole, "Let's go to dinner, let's go get drinks," and stuff like that, and I'm not and I enjoyed it. It was nice because 'cause I'm not used to that. I'm very much an introvert and working remotely. I just don't socialize that much. It was a lot of fun, but I realized, like, if they come to Nashville, I'm probably gonna have to stay in a hotel a night or 2 during the week just because, otherwise it'll be, like, midnight getting home, and I'll have to get up and go, like, the next morning, turn right back up and go, so, um Yeah, we actually were pretty limited in which hotels we could pick in San Diego because they, only have, there's only so much the company will pay for on a hotel room budget, and San Diego was so expensive that, like, um, we only had a few hotels that we could choose from, so it's gonna be interesting, and it's Seattle was cool because we walked everywhere, which was cool. Fortunately, if I had to go to Seattle right now, I think it would be bad just because of all the inflammation I have, I walking that much, I'd be in so much pain, but I was still feeling pretty good in September, so that actually worked out. Seattle's a really neat city. I honestly like, I guess if I could move to anywhere in the world, like, that would if I had to move to a big city, like, of all the places I visited, like, that's kinda, would, I guess, be considered. It'd be, considered. So, I'd never been to the West Coast before, though, and I don't know what San Diego is gonna be like either. I I thought about flying in on Sunday to kinda see if I had time to do, like, a couple touristy things, but I don't wanna be, I know if I do that, I'm gonna be just exhausted by Thursday, and I can't fly out till Friday, so, like, at least to start with, I'm just going for the time frame that I have to be there, and then maybe down the road, hopefully, if I get to feeling better, um, I can, like, stay longer and maybe do a couple touristy things or something, so. Oh, it rains all the time, is that in Seattle? Yeah, my boss Rachel said that they have entered the rainy season. So, apparently, it's really pretty in Seattle for, like, about 6 months, like, really when they start getting into April and May, and so for about 6 months, it's really pretty in Seattle. Very dog-friendly city too, by the way. It was so cool walking down the streets and seeing a lot of restaurants and businesses had, like, water bowls set out for dogs. So, like, if people were out walking their dogs, they could, stop and have a drink. Just they were all over the place. Like, I saw more breeds of dogs than I think I would at, like, a pet show. It was I loved it. I do love dogs. I can't have one with all the cats, but I did grow up with dogs and I do like them. But I saw all kinds there and it was pretty cool. I didn't see anybody walking their cat though, so I was a little bummed about that. Um, but, yeah, no, Rachel said that they are now entering the rainy season. So, I guess it gets cool in Seattle, but not like cold, cold. And so it just rains and looks, I guess, dreary all the time. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's it works out. My husband is willing to take care of the cats while I'm gone. The only way that I can do this is because of my husband, and I, like, really appreciate him for it because he holds down the fort while I'm gone, and a lot of the cats have medicines that they take. They have health issues. They have. I can't just like throw out a couple bowls of dry food and leave them to their own devices for a few days. Like they're all. So for those of you who don't know, I have 6 cats now. My high scorer at one time was 13 in the house together. That was, oh, like 12, 13 years ago. And, just through old age and illness, that number has come down. And, so now I'm down 6, and all of them except for 1 are, like, 13 and older. So they're most of them, I think, like, Winry's the oldest at 16, Scamper and Bagheera, I think, are both 15, Reap Sheep's 14 or 13, Sid's 14 or 15, and Scamper's 15. So most of them are 15. And, they just have a lot of health issues because they're geriatric cats. This is an old cat nursing home, basically. Bagheera has insulin and, Cosequin he takes for his joints and thyroid meds. Scamper has her gabapentin now. Um, Leroy's supposed to be taking milk thistle. Sid gets thyroid meds twice a day. So Winry has kidney disease, but fortunately, she's still in such good shape, we don't have to give her any meds yet. Reba Chief has an ongoing issue with his ear where we have to clean his ears out like multiple times a week because it's kind of like a baby that, it gets a lot of ear infections and they get a lot of buildup in their ears. And so for humans, they'll put tubes in their ears to drain their ears. We unfortunately, you can't do that in a cat, so he just gets real, like, it's gross. It gets gunked up, and we have to go in there and clean it, and he hates us, and we hate it. We hate not him, but cleaning his ear, and it's just anyway, so he manages all that while I'm gone, and I have to leave. Y'all should see the lists I have to leave for him, not because he's not capable, but because his memory is terrible, and he will tell you that too. It's this is not any I'm not, dissing him by any means, like, we his memory is terrible, so I have to write things down so he'll remember. He also takes care of the not my cats, outside. We have 2 right now. Wesley, who's been here forever, fortunately, he'll never let me touch him, which is unfortunate. He's a black and white cat, which are my favorites, and black cats and black and white cats. Um, we have a new Name cat named Taco, who's a solid black cat. I am taking him to the vet next Friday to get him checked out because he is an intact male young cat, I think. And I want to at least get him neutered. I don't know. I want to try to find a home for him, but we're just going to have to play this out and see how it goes. But he was real nervous the first few months, but now he's pretty affectionate with me, so he's not a fully feral cat. I'm afraid somebody has dumped him off, which is unfortunately frequent where I live. So, if you've been around, yeah, I call them not my cats, Barbara, because I don't want to actually call them my cats. But I take care of them, but they don't come into the house. They don't mingle with the permanent residents. They don't. I Wesley's the one cat in all the years that I've owned cats, which has, like, been 20 years at this point, there have been 2 cats that I feel like have genuinely been good outside cats. Like, one of them was my neighbor's cat, Katie. They had her when I first moved in, and she kept everything. She was so territorial, like, she loved to stay in my yard, and you'd think I wound up with a lot of kittens on my doorstep, but if, like, full-grown cats, we didn't get very many around here because she locked it down. Like, she was neutered and neutered, she was spayed, she was, they took great care of her. She just didn't want to stay inside for long periods of time. She was indoor, outdoor. And then Wesley. Wesley is the type of cat that excels in his environment, and I just don't think he could ever convert to be an inside cat. Plus, I'm pretty sure the evil witch lady that lives down the street is taking care of him because he'll let them get a hold of him. There have been a couple times I've seen him with spots on him from, like, fighting and stuff, and I, have tried to trap him in a cage, and he won't let me do it. He's too smart, he knows what they are, but he lets them take him in. I think it's them because I've seen him with a couple, like, like a bite or a mark on him, and then I won't see him for a couple days, and then he's back, and it looks a lot better. Like, he gets vet care, it looks like. So I I'm hesitant to do anything with him because A, I can't catch him, and B, no matter even with the live traps I have, and B, um, somebody really it does seem like they own him and take care of him. So I just feed him, and I have it's called a kitty tube in the backyard that's filled with straw if it gets too cold. He has a place to go if there's nowhere else to go, but I've never seen him stay around here. He just shows up, eats, and goes. And then Taco's fairly new. I constant if you've been around for a while, I've had a number of cats that have shown up, and I've fortunately been able to find homes for, or put them through a animal rescue. I had a pregnant white cat show up. They named her Snow White, the animal rescue, and then she ended up having 7 babies, which was hilarious. I've never heard of a cat having that many kittens, but they all found homes. It was a really awesome situation that worked out. But I've been fortunate, and I think I can figure out something with Taco. I just need to see how he's going to do. And so we will have to kind of wait and see. So yeah, they're my outdoor cats, Barbara. Really, truly. Um, Salem and Simba. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I thought I have thought about, and I don't wanna say it because I really don't wanna say it. I'm gonna knock on wood because I don't wanna jinx it. I The cats I found homes for in the past, I never really felt like I needed to keep them. Like I wanted to find a home for them, but I never really felt like that this needed to be the home for them, if that makes any sense. And a lot of that is because all my cats except for Leroy are older cats, and they have had to live in a house with quite a few cats their entire lives. Now that they're older and the numbers are down a bit, they get a I will never regret adopting the cats I did. They got to live fantastic lives, even the ones that unfortunately just lived, rather short lives like Annie. That one still hurts, but, they lived the good life, they lived a spoiled life, and I would never not do that again. However, when there were so many, they just couldn't get the one-on-one attention they get now with the numbers down like they are. And so a lot of the ones I have now weren't that affectionate when they were young, but as they've gotten older, they've gotten more affectionate. And I think part of that is just because they don't have to compete as much. So I don't want to give them any more competition for attention. Plus, Leroy is Leroy. And Leroy is named after Leroy Jenkins, which is a wow meme YouTube video that went viral. It was like one of the first big things that went viral on YouTube at that dates it. And if you ever Google Leroy Jenkins, and you will hear the story of that. But like Leroy is Leroy, and Leroy is very stubborn and headstrong, and I love him to pieces. But he is an asshole. Excuse my language, but he is. He is an asshole. Even neutered, even just he's an asshole. And because he's so headstrong, it worries me to bring another young male cat in here because he is so headstrong. The idea of another young male cat in here, I feel like if he's a headstrong personality that they're gonna clash. So, because him and Maggie used to clash because Maggie was very headstrong. And, it wasn't to the point they were, like, physically fighting very, very much. That was very rare that would happen, but, it still was tense, and so I don't wanna cause him any more stress because he has bladder crystals. He's my lemon cat. He's only like 3 or 4, and he's got bladder crystals. He's got issues with his liver. He's got all these health issues, though you wouldn't know it looking at him because he's thick, like, he is stout. And, but I have thought after Taco gets neutered, give him a couple months outside to get the hormones out of his system, and I've thought about trying with him, but I don't know. A lot of things are gonna have to fall into place. And in the meantime, until I get to that point, which would be like the beginning of next year, I could try to find him a home. And that's what I'm gonna talk to the vet about next week. And we'll see if, he seems like a good contender to be a house cat. Because some cats, like I said, like Wesley will never be a pampered indoor cat. That's just not his style. So but anyway, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, 11 o'clock. Okay, 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 okay. Alright, so let's do the last book. Yeah, because it is getting 20 till. Um, it's getting 20 till here. Alright, last book. This is part 2, The 100 Best Grayscale Coloring Pages by Elena Lazareva. So this is a collection from a lot of her books. And so these are grayscale images, and it's a nice variety of different grayscale images. So you have like some little Christmas pictures like this. You have some fantasy type stuff like this. It's a nice little mixture of things. Even cute little ones like this. Let's see. There's a cute little Halloween themed one. Like all kinds of different types of images with her style and her light grayscale that she puts on her pages. Again, it's just been one of those books. It's I've realized over time, I'm not too big on coloring people as much. I'm hoping that changes in the future. But, this has got like, this is a really cute picture, but, I don't mind coloring, like, witches and fantasy people as much. But this is a book I just keep meaning to get to, and I've had it for at least 2 years, maybe 3. I have not colored in it yet. So, I feel like this should find look at all these cute little puppies. So, again, I just wanna find a home for it. So, do I have interest in this? Yes. If yes, let me know in the comments. Oop. And this will be the last book of the night. And then if we still have some international people on here, I will do something specific for international people. So, sorry, I'm just checking my phone. There we go. Reset that. Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. All right. So, like I said, last official book of the night, last US giveaway. When I hit start in the chat, pick a number 1 to 100, just like all the other ones we've been doing. I'll give you guys a minute and then we will generate a number. So, ready, set, go. So, yeah, I've thought about it. However, Taco is exactly the type of cat that I don't need to bring in because he is a young male headstrong cat. So, I don't know. I'm gonna talk to the vet about it next Friday. He would have to test negative for feline leukemia and FIV because all my other cats are negative. There just would have to be a lot of things that fall into place. So, not gonna say he's coming in right now, but we'll just kind of see. So, woo, lot of numbers for this one. All right. And we got about 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. All right. Let's see what we got here. Wood, 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 wood. 39. I think somebody hit it right on the mark, and I think it was Cindy Lee. Yep, Cindy Lee's got it right on the mark at 39. So, yay! If you couldn't hear it, congrats, Cindy Lee. Cindy, if you will email me or you can contact me on Instagram with it, Kits and Caboodles on there, same as here. Then we will be good. Let me write your name down. Always forgetting that step. So there we go. All right, cool, cool. All right, so we've got um oh, no problem, Barbara. I enjoy doing these. It's just it you think I would do these more often. It just seems like I enjoy doing these. It just I don't know why I don't do them more often. And I really and trust me, I with the influx of books lately, I really needed to go through. I don't know. I feel like my collection's in a pretty good spot right now. So that's been the big thing. I think at this point with giveaways in the future, it's probably going to be like giving away books on Amazon or something like that. So we'll have to kind of see. I've Yeah. I say that, and then in 6 months, I'll be like, "I gotta pare down again," so yep. Thank you, Loretta. Alright, so, do we have any international Okay, Barbara, yep, that is a thought. We will, let me make a note of that. Typically, what I do is I'll ship them out through USPS by medium mail, and, but even medium mails went up recently, so okay, so looks like we've got 2 international people. Anybody else? Alright, so this is what I'm gonna do with the international, and if either of you don't have an interest in this, let me know. But what I typically do for international is we do another number situation just like we already did, and, I'll give away, let's do $20 of books on Book Depository, excuse me. So basically what would happen is the winner would go to Book Depository, pick out up to $20. If it's tax and everything, it's a little bit like $21. It's no big deal. 20 US books on Book Depository, and send me the links and your mailing address in the email, and I will order them and send them to you. So this is for international only, and would you two be interested in that? Or yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, Loretta. We're gonna pare down the number. Awesome, Cindy. I will check those right after the live stream, and then I'll check again first thing in the morning. So Suzanne and Stephen, do you guys want to uh, participate in this? How do you want to do that? I just like to offer this to my international people, just like I said, to give you guys an option since the books themselves. Okay, cool. Suzanne, let me get everything paired up. No, 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 no. I don't mind. Come on, Suzanne. All right. Well, this is what I'm going to do. If either one of you want to participate, we're going to set this. I'm going to set it for 30 seconds. We're not even going to need a full minute for this. I want you to pick a number between 1 and 20, and then we're going to do it this way. So, all right. And if only one person participates, then that person wins. It's fine. Thank you. You're welcome. It's like I said, I know a lot of times with international, you get left out of a lot of giveaways. So I always, like I said, I always like to try to do this. So, all right, international only. Third, we'll give it 30 seconds. And ready, set, 1 through 20, go. So if you are international, pick a number between 1 and 20. Means outside the US. Steven, get your number in, please. Okay, thank you. All right. 6. All right. So let's see what we got here. 13. So Suzanne's got it. Congrats, Suzanne. So here is the email address. Just go on Book Depository, pick out the books you want. I mean, they don't even have to I guess they don't even have to be coloring books. If there's books you want that are reading books, then that's fine too. It's whatever books you'd like off of Book Depository. Just email me the links and your mailing address, and I will get that shipped out to you. And I will email you to let you know that that's on its way, and I'll send you a screenshot and everything just so you know. And with Book Depository, I'm not sure how long it'll take to get to you, but hopefully we won't have any issues. So, all right, congrats everybody that won tonight. Thank you so much to everybody else that participated. I really appreciate it. Um, these are always fun. Like I said, I wish my health was more consistent so that I feel like I could do these more often. But it just this is I guess this is how it ends up rolling, but we always have a fun time with them, and this one has been no exception. And, yeah, I'm not really I don't think I'm going to color. I think we're gonna go ahead and just start wrapping up because 'cause we're getting pretty close to the 2-hour mark. I know it is, calm and chill for this one. I don't wanna keep Kim up too late, and, also, my sleep has become absolutely, like, critical to me right now. Like, am I feel so tired all the time as it is that and I'm sleeping well at night. Like I have a Fitbit watch and my sleep score is actually I think right around the highest it's ever been in the year and something I've been tracking it. So I mean, I'm getting better sleep with my CPAP and everything than I ever have, but yet I'm still really fatigued and tired. And so that's just the nature of that's just the nature of the fibro, that's just the nature of the chronic fatigue. I mean, it's something I have to work around and live with, but my sleep is absolutely critical, and it's like if I don't my bedtime each night is around 10:30 or 11, and I go in there and I get my Kindle, app out, and I'll read, and I go in there and I read with, like, the blue light filter on and everything, and it takes me about an hour. I've been unfortunately having to take Ambien for so long that, it takes a while to kick in for me, so after about an hour, hour and a half, I usually can fall asleep, and I'm not having a lot of issues with my insomnia right now. I'm actually sleeping pretty good through the night, sleeping more in the morning than I probably should be when it's the weekend, but like I said, I that's one of the reasons I don't do super late night, live streams anymore because I don't want it to interfere with my sleep. And I get so worked up over these, it takes me a while to relax after we get done. That's why I end them when I do. So, yeah, I think Kim wants you to go on for another hour or two. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. That might be a good Christmas present, Loretta. I know they just come out with a newer version of it. I think I got the older version. I don't know. It's funny. I used to when I was really young because I was into computers a lot when they really became a thing back in the late 90s. It was all back then when, like, CD burners came out and, boy, I'm really dating myself now, and all that stuff, like, at that when I was in college, it was always getting the newest and the latest and greatest, and then I hit, like about the time I hit 30 well, in my 20s, there were periods of time I couldn't necessarily afford the latest and greatest, but man, I hit about 30, and I just got to the point where I was like, if it works well enough for me, I don't need the newest. So, like, now I hold on to my technology I the phone I had the only reason I got a new phone is because my previous carrier wouldn't let go of my phone new I just bought a phone last year. They wouldn't let go of the phone until I'd been on their service for a year, which they didn't tell me that when I bought the phone. And, that really made me mad, and I got tired of waiting. I had to have, because I don't get any service on my old carrier, and so I had to get a new phone on Verizon so I could get service for, like, my interviews and my onboarding and all that, so I could have cell phone service, and so I had to suck it up and get a new phone, and my husband will get the other phone. But like this thing, I will carry until, yeah, I'll probably keep this phone for 4 or 5 years. Like I just, and this tablet's like 3 or 4 years old and it still works just fine because all I ever do is read on it. And oh, I'm using the Happy Color app a lot this month too. Um, yes, yes, Valerie. Good night. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you. I'm just going to ramble for the next few minutes. So if you guys need to head out, thank you so much for coming by. Um, I don't know when I'll do another one of these. It probably won't be this year, just because uh, I have some big things I have to focus on for work for the next few months. I'll be traveling the first week of December. I mean, I don't know. During the end of December or something during the holidays, if things have slowed down a bit, I might do one then, but really if I don't do it then, it probably won't be till after the first of the year or so. But thank you so much for coming by. If you are heading out, I'll just ramble on for a few more minutes. Um, but yeah, like I said, this tablet my in-laws got me, and oh yeah, the Happy Color app. That's what I was talking about. So they have digital coloring apps, and I know, like, okay, so I know some people are, what is the term I'm looking for here? Snobs. Okay, some people are just kind of snobs about everything in life. And I know some people, when it comes to coloring, turn their nose up at like digital coloring. Like they don't consider that real coloring or whatever. And you know me, I don't care what it is. When any you guys know, anytime I do tags, app coloring or digital coloring is always welcome in the tags. I feel like at this point, coloring can involve a lot of things, a lot of different ways of coloring, and so if it makes you happy and it's putting color to a picture, then to me it doesn't matter, how you go about it, right? So there is a couple coloring apps out there, and one of them is Happy Color. And I did a small review on my channel last year. But this is the one I use, and I think I actually, is this, I don't know if I've paid for this one. Maybe not. Maybe I did. I can't remember. But anyway, there is a free version, but I think it involves ads. It's going to load up at some point. One of the things that's cool is they even have Disney pictures. So if you're a big Disney fan, so like you select a picture. If you're not familiar with how a lot of these coloring apps work, they're just color by number. So you get your palette here at the bottom and then your numbers here. When you select the number here, I have it, you can change the settings, but I have it where it shows where you fill in. So then you just tap and it fills in. So it's like a color by number, but even less work than having to physically get out markers and paper. So, and then you just go through like that. And I've been using this a lot this month. We've been going through Big Bang Theory at night. That's what we've been watching a lot of when we're out watching like movies. And I've just been going through this and using this. When I do my completed pages, I'm going to have a section showing all the completed ones I have from this month, because some nights that's all I've got. That's all I've got the mood for. That's all I'm in the mood for. Um, it just and on the couch, a lot of times I need my overhead light, my little lamp light on so that I can color, and see the numbers on the color, like regular color by number books. And it's hard to have that light on when we're watching TV. And I have to take my glasses. My eyes are so bad to really see close up. I have to take my glasses off, but I need my glasses on in order to see the TV. I really need, what are they called? What are they called? Brent, what were those glasses you got? Bifocals. Okay. Yep. But there was a name for them. Anyway, my husband had to get them. That's why I was asking him. I really need bifocals. My doctor had said they're called transition lenses or something. My doctor had said, eye doctor had said when I went in that I'm really on the edge of needing them, but he didn't think I was quite ready for them yet. But honestly, I think I was because to look at something up close, I have to take my glasses off and I have to put them back on to see like the TV in the distance. So um, but this is nice because I can make that as big as I need to, and still be able to see it with my glasses here and on the TV, so that's also really helpful. I am not a snob. Kim, darling, I did not say you were a snob. Some people act like snobs about I'm just saying, look, there are people that act like snobs about anything in life. That's like That's one of the reasons I don't like humanity as a whole, because it seems like anytime somebody finds a hobby or something they like, there's always going to be people out there that turn their nose up at it. Like it is somehow beneath them to enjoy this thing, like Big Bang Theory. I cannot tell you how many nerds and I guess people that consider themselves nerds and geeks and I guess uh, nerdy people, like, I can't tell you how many of them absolutely hate that show. And it baffles me because it's like, I don't know. Like the just I feel like people take themselves way too seriously these days. And I feel like if you have something that you love and it makes you laugh or it makes you happy, that you should be able to just enjoy it and be able to talk about it. Like, I love when people talk about stuff that they enjoy. You can just see people's face light up, and, like, it may be something that I don't necessarily like, but, like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, "Ugh, you can't do that." Just, that's not really like the Wooble thing. I mean, that's putting together a kit that, that is already put together for you with a pattern and anything. And, like there are probably some people out there who crochet like these gigantic quilts and blankets and stuff. There's probably a couple of them out there that are like, oh, this isn't real crochet or whatever. Like, because it just, we can't let people just love what they love, right? Like, okay. Again, we're getting getting on the subject here. Um, I'm getting on sensitive subjects here. I am I want to rant so bad. Just let people love what they love, gosh. Anyway, but no, I'm really loving right now. It's hard for me to watch anything serious. I am so honestly, I doom scroll on Twitter a lot. I see what's happening in the big picture world, and it's really got me down. The stress of my job's got me down a bit. It's been really hard to watch anything serious or dramatic right now. Honestly, um, I like The Big Bang Theory because it's light. It makes me laugh. And that's just what I need, is just something that's light and entertaining and funny right now, and is it highbrow? No. But it's what works for me right now, and it's hitting my buttons, and it helps me forget about all the stresses of my life for a few hours, which, again, you can insert any hobby into this, right? Like the crocheting, the coloring, anything, and diamond painting, I mean, anything into it, and it's just there's not a lot of controversy in the coloring community. It's one of the things I love most about the coloring community is really there's not a lot of drama when it comes to other online communities, like, woo, just constant. It's unreal what people can get bent out of shape about. But it doesn't happen very often with coloring, and that's one of the reasons I enjoy the community so much. But we still do have our moments of drama, and you still do have people who um just people that are a bit judgmental, and I think you're gonna get that in any walk of life, and or any hobby. Like I said, it doesn't have to be coloring, it doesn't have to be watching TV, it's just like you're gonna have people that are like that in everything, and so I don't know, that's a big pet peeve of mine. I just want people to enjoy their themselves, so yes, bifocals, I think they're called transition lenses. Um, Suzanne, Suzanne, if you'll email me, um, hang on a second. Whenever you email me with your, book depository things, let me know, and I will message you back and let you, I'll talk to you about that a little bit more offline, if that's okay. I certainly am open to that, and I can tell you for sure which ones you were thinking about, sending and I appreciate it if that's what you wanna do, and I'll let you know if just whenever I get your email address, I'll respond, to that there, so oh my gosh, Brittany, I wish. My poor old eyes, man, I tell you, and coloring and detail work, like crocheting and stuff, all the things I love to do require me to really be able to see, like, small objects and small things, so it's like my eyesight's so critical right now. I've always had issues with my eyes. When I was a kid, you have 10 minutes start. Um, I am nearsighted in one eye and farsighted in the other, and my left eye is so bad that I'm essentially blind in my left eye. When I was a kid, I don't know if you guys remember this or they still do this with kids, but, like, as a kid, they said that my left eye was a lazy eye, and not lazy to the point where the muscle's so weak that it's just kinda, kinda doing its own thing on that side, but, like, lazy enough that it wasn't as strong as my right eye, and so, as a 2nd grader, what they wanted me to do was to wear one of those little eye patch things over my right eye, like, for so long each day to strengthen the left eye. Now, whose kid is going to do that, right? Like, what kid I mean, as an adult, I'd be like, "Hell yeah, pirate time." But, like, as a kid, especially if they want you to wear it at school and stuff, like, I was a very quiet kid. I was a very introverted kid, more less social than I am now, surprisingly. But I w I don't think in 2nd grade I was chubby yet, but I got really chubby in, like, 4th or 5th grade, got picked on a little bit when I was in middle school. You know how it goes. And, but what 2nd grader wants to be the kid in class that has to wear the eye patch, right? Like, so I never wore it. It never got any stronger. Would it have really made a difference? That I don't know. I wish I had been smarter as a kid. But by the time I was in 6th or 7th grade, that had done set in, and there was nothing I could do to really improve it. So, basically, we are trying to take care of my right eye and be as careful with it as possible because if I ever had any lost that's one of the reasons I can't get LASIK. Somebody might would try my left eye if they thought they could get any improvement out of it, but most of the doctors I've talked to are pretty dubious about that. None of them will ever touch my right eye because there's just too much of a chance of something going wrong, and then I really can't see. So, but I would love to have 20/20 vision. If I had a superpower, it would ei I if I had a choice of superpower, this is pretty sad. Would I fly? No. Would I be invisible? No. I would be well rested no matter how little I slept each night. I would wake up every single day well rested and ready to take on the world, and I would have 20/20 vision. Those would be the 2 things I wish. I'm not that exciting apparently, so sorry, I'm scrolling through the comments now. I get on my rants and then I look at the comments. Yeah, Brittany, I just feel like people get defensive, I guess, easily. Like, it's I think people get defensive and they get comfortable in the way they do things. And so, like, when somebody else is like, "Well, I do things differently," and they're not saying it like what you're doing is wrong. What they're saying is just, I, for some reason, have to do this differently, or I choose to do this differently. Like, people get weirdly defensive about it. Even when you're not attacking somebody, you're just like, they, and I don't know why. I I'm sure I could sit here and play therapy all day on why people are judgmental, why people feel like that their way is the only way of doing things. But if I did that, we'd be here another hour and Kim would be falling asleep, drooling on her desk. And I get the dairy-free thing, Brittany, because, I'm pretty sure if I went to an allergist, I would be diagnosed with a dairy allergy. I'm not lactose intolerant, God. I'm not lactose intolerant. I'm specifically, allergic to, like, casein or whatever it is in dairy, because if I eat a lot, cheese is not bad, especially, like, mozzarella and stuff that has, more dried out cheese. But like ice cream and straight milk, if I have too much of that, my face is on fire. Like, I feel like I could just scratch my face off. It gets itchy, and I have rosacea. It gets 3 times worse. Like, it is a genuine, like, skin allergy reaction to it. And so, um ice cream, I don't do so well with, because I do love me some ice cream, and a lot of times I pay for that, because it's hard for me to give up ice cream. But I've totally switched off of regular dairy milk to, like, almond milk. I don't mind soy milk, but I usually prefer almond milk, just because of that very reason. So, oh, Barbara, I remember that one. You mentioned Becks and Books. I That's the last big one I remember, honestly, Barbara, so it's been a while. There may have been some that have popped up since then, but I guess I haven't been a part of that loop. I think that was the last big one that I actually went and left, like, just a comment on. That was the last controversy that I remember, but that's good because 'cause it's been a while. A view is a view. Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. The patches did work? Oh, okay. Oh, but now you're older, it's doing it again. So I bet that would've happened to me. I bet it would've strengthened when I was a kid, and then, as an adult, it probably. So I wonder if wearing an eye patch now would make any difference. Probably not with me, because it's just so far gone at this point, but it's just rolling around again. Sorry, I'm catching up on the chat. Barbara. She would eat the eye patches? Oh my gosh. Mine was one of those plastic ones that snapped onto the glasses. I don't know if they do that now with kids. I wonder how they do take care of that now. So, Suzanne, that is perfectly fine. I kinda do that myself, to be honest, in terms of contributing to book giveaways and stuff. I really, since August, have went crazy on the book buying. And, just in the last few weeks, have kinda got to the point where it's out of my system, pretty good. I say that, and then, wait, Josh or Alexandra Francis is gonna come out with something. It'll start all over again. But that's kinda what I do too, is just I figure it's good for me to go through my collection every so often and find books, and they may be books that I still like, but I love, like, the Alice in Wonderland book. I love the art in it. I just can't see myself coloring in it. And so at this point, I would rather somebody else get it that wants to actually color in it. It's just one of those things that, I it's my contribution to the coloring community, I guess. I don't feel like I do a whole lot other than just kind of exist over here in my little bubble, so the giveaways are kinda my way. Cutting up rooms of wonder. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Brittany, about your parents' house. I don't know if you were around, we were talking about that earlier where, like, house prices and rental prices are just unbelievable right now, and I have a feeling that story is that type of situation is just gonna become more common as we go along, because right now, I mean, interest rates are crazy. It went from I had seriously considered putting eventually, I would like to sell my house and move closer to my parents. I'm about half an hour away from them now, and, I would like to live closer to them, like, maybe even within the same neighborhood, and plus, living out here in the middle of nowhere has gotten a little old for us, just because, like, Brittany, you were talking about the different types of dairy-free ice creams out there. I would love to try those, but all I really have here is my small town grocery store, and if he has any type of dairy free ice cream, I haven't found it, and even if he does, it's probably like $15 for a box of 4, because that's he has no competition here, so he can make anything any price he wants. If we wanna go to a Walmart or Kroger or somewhere, we have to drive about 40 minutes to get to one. So, I'm a little limited in what I can get until we do one of our big grocery trips, and then I can try things, like, when we do our pickups at Walmart and stuff, if they have it. But again, even that's not a huge town, and so the choice can be kinda limited there too. So unfortunately, I'm just kinda limited in what is available to me locally, but, um, the market was so crazy at one point, like, I seriously thought about, like, just because this house was a foreclosure that I bought. It's a, old farmhouse. It will be actually, in 2026, it will be 100 years old, and, it sat really for about a decade before I had the money to do any work to it, and we've gotten the foundation work and the new AC unit in. Now it's all, like, cosmetic stuff in the house, and, housing was so crazy there for a while. I seriously just thought about selling the house and going ahead and moving closer to my parents. The problem was the houses there were just as expensive as the houses here, so, or more expensive. So our payment would have gone up, and that was before I got this new job. So it really wasn't an option at that point because I was a contractor. But right now with how interest rates have went up and how, housing prices have still stayed up, nobody's buying anything right now, and with interest rates going up and stuff, like, I have a feeling this is gonna become more of a situation. My brother actually lives with my parents right now. He was going when they moved to their current house, he was going to get an apartment. And, the house my parents fell in love with would have been a lot for my dad to take care of with just, his payment, with just one person paying. So, my brother wanted them to be able to, he knew they loved the house, and so he wanted to go into the house and split the mortgage with them. So they did, and, he's got the whole upstairs is his house. It's like the size of a starter home, and it's almost like a brand new build. So there's no way he would have been able to get as nice of a place as he has now for what he's paying, and, he still gets his laundry done, so it's like a double bonus. But, I think that's gonna become more of a thing as time goes on. I think a lot of people are gonna wind up having to move in with family, and it just with the rent continuing to go up, it's just gonna and family and friends, and it's just gonna continue to become more and more common. Oh my gosh, Barbara, I can only imagine. That's what I was saying. Anybody that's living on fixed income right now, like, I it turns my stomach. It does, between inflation and then, like I said, just the rising cost of living across the board. It's such a bad situation, and I don't feel like it's something that's being well, the housing situation is not being talked about at all. Inflation's being talked about, but it's not being talked about like, "Hey, let's come up with some solutions, it's just being used as a weapon. Like, it's being talked about, but, like, nobody's talking about really the only solution they think they have is jacking up the federal interest rates. So now it's like 8% interest rates to buy a home. I wouldn't be buying a house right now. I don't know, with the interest rate on a home loan right now, oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's just I don't know how y'all do it, I really don't. I so admire y'all for being able and you shouldn't it shouldn't be this way. It really shouldn't. And I don't know, it's really it just upsets me so much, and I wish there was something I could do to fix it myself, but I had my bout with politics, local politics a few years ago, and I got my fill of it. I was actually on my city council for a few years. I got really involved in the city, met some new friends, got to know the mayor of the city real well, and became friends with him and his family. And one of the people on the council resigned, and he thought I'd be a good fit for it. So I actually served on our local city council for about 2, 3 years. I think it was 3 years, and I did not run for reelection because it was just it was not what I expected. I went into it thinking I was ready to go. I was ready to make some changes happen. I was ready to get things rolling, and there was just no support for it. Um, One person, a handful of people can only do so much to change a community. You really have to have other people in the community pitch in and help. Otherwise, your 5, 6 people are gonna get burnt out trying to do all the different things and get, community events going and festivals and grants and things like that. Like, you have to have the community pitch in to help, and we just couldn't get anybody to actually pitch in and help. So, like, what happened is you had a couple maybe a dozen people that were doing all this stuff to get changes rolling, thinking if we could get show people things are happening and things are changing and we can do better in this community, more people will be interested to join in and help out. That never happened. And so slowly over time, those 12 people became exhausted, burnt out. That's where my health issues really cropped up just due to stress. And it just we couldn't get you can't elect people and then just sit back and ignore and not try to put in some work yourself. It's just nothing's ever going to change if we keep doing that. And that was on a local level. I saw that happen myself. And it's just I grew disenfranchised with it. I just was disgusted about it, and I was like, you can't just set it and forget it. You can't just elect people and then just go about living your life and then get mad when things don't change because you're not helping trying to make a difference yourself. Again, the lighten the load by pitching more hands makes for lighter work or whatever the saying is. But anyway, okay. Um, I did not run for reelection. I and it's not gotten any better. In fact, it's gotten a lot worse, the mindset of I really was glad to move back here 15, 16 years ago. Um, and now I'm ready to move somewhere else. I The change that has happened here in people since 2016 um has not been for the good, and it just that's why I get on the internet and talk with all you lovely people because I feel like I can connect more with people out there in the world than I can with people in my own community. I kind of feel alone in my community right now. So, Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm sitting here looking at the comments. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Loretta and I have had many a conversation on that. I guess, if you haven't gathered, I tend to run politically a little more blue than a little more. I say a little more because I'm trying to be trying not to get political, but I feel very isolated in my area, and the things that I feel like we should focus on. Actually, to be honest, I feel like our city's in such dire straits. We're probably going to cease to exist being a city in the next decade. One of my closest friends is running. He stepped into the mayor position as he was a vice mayor and stepped into the position as mayor when my friend Jerry resigned as mayor. And I think he's done a great job because we're actually growing as a community, which is something my small town hasn't seen since the 90s is growth. And I think my friend's handling it great and he's up for reelection, but he's up against what you'd call a good old boy out here in the country, somebody that's real well known, who is not is not a good choice. They're I he's corrupt. He's corrupt. That's all I'm gonna say. But he's a good old boy, and he's exactly what this place has had for the last 40, 50 years, and they keep saying they want something different. But I tell y'all right now, I have a feeling he's gonna win because they people say they want something different, but then they vote for the same old thing. And I just can't be I'm not going to put in the work for a community that doesn't wanna put in the work for itself. And I can't really, honestly, with my health issues right now, I just can't be a part of it, even if I wanted to. So, but well, I appreciate all y'all doing the best you can with what you have. I know it can't be easy. I When I was driving back and forth to Nashville, the reason I bought this house was it was a foreclosure. It was a foreclosure at $70,000. My house payment, my taxes are done separately. I don't keep them in escrow. My house payment is $400 on the house. And it was in 2007, right before the housing crash. Like, they were changing the it was just getting to the point where they were about to change the policies where people couldn't buy houses with no down payments. Like, it just right when the market tanked, and they made all those changes. I closed on the house on Halloween, and, like, November 1st is when all that stuff changed. So, had I waited one day, I would not have been able to buy this house. And so I got very lucky, and there for a long time, when I was in my second marriage, we were a one-income family. Either my husband was working and I had a stepson who had health issues at the time, so, he had a lot of expensive medication and therapy appointments, and we were a one-income family for a lot of the 4 years we were together. So um, either he was employed and I was at home, or I commuted back and forth to Nashville. And I was doing that, and mine was a starting salary. I mean, we were having to pick, like, it was a month to month, like, what do we pay this month? And we didn't really have, like, we couldn't do internet, we couldn't do cable, we couldn't do, oh my gosh, there were a lot more issues there. It wasn't, there's a reason why he's my ex. And, a lot of it was money and kinda laziness on his part. Not all of it, really the affair was the big thing, but, um, I remember those years, and I remember having $15, $20 left to spend on a week of food for the 3 of us. And my parents were such a help during that time. I would go over there. My mother still does this. I would go over there and it would suddenly be like, "Hey, save you a stop at the store. Is there anything in our pantry that you could take home?" And next thing you know, I've got a box of food I'm bringing home with me that just helps us get through the week. And it was it was a real tough time. I don't know. There were a lot of other issues going on there, and like I said, I would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I wouldn't get home till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and, when I was working and my ex was working at the same time, he would work a swing shift, so a lot of times, I wouldn't see him for a week, 2 weeks, because he wouldn't be home when I left, and he wouldn't be home when I got home because he'd be working at night. And so there were many nights where, I would leave Nashville and drive here. It'd be 8, 9 o'clock by the time I got home with my stepson and would need to feed him a late dinner. And it'd be pretty much be bedtime for him. I'd have maybe 30 minutes to kind of sit there and contemplate life. And then I'd have to go to bed and do it all over again. And it was real tough. I don't know how y'all do it. I'm looking through the chat if you're wondering why I got quiet. Um, Brittany, I'm reading about what you were talking about with DC. Yes, insurances needed therapies across the lifespan. Absolutely. Boy, if we're talking about controversial topics, like don't get me started on insurance. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just switched insurances. My company has like great insurance. Like that was one of the key reasons I took this job because we were using my husband's insurance and on his company because I was a contractor, and it wasn't great. It was United Healthcare, but I mean it's all right. It's all right. It just wasn't great. And then we switched to mine, supposedly great healthcare, and I walked into my pharmacy to give them my new pharmacy card, and it's Blue Cross Blue Shield. And there are 2 pharmacies in my town. The first pharmacy looked at my card and said they can't take that insurance because they're not contracted with them. Now, how in the hell can you not be contracted with Blue Cross Blue Shield? And I was like, "Okay. So if this other pharmacy doesn't take it, then that means I have to drive if Rite Aid takes it in Scottsville, I have to drive at least 20 to 30 minutes. It'll be an hour. I'll have to take an hour out of my lunch once a week to go get, like, prescriptions." And that's even if the Rite Aid doesn't cover it, then it's a half hour to 40 minutes. So, I can get some of them filled, by mail, but I can't get my Ambien done that way because of the way insurance does Ambien, and they treat it like a controlled substance and just don't get me started on insurance and covering therapies and stuff. Oh my gosh. Yep. I do not like I feel like insurance laws, that should be a federal thing. It's way too easy for living in one state to only have so much coverage and then have to move to another state. Like when it comes to healthcare, it should not be a state to state thing. I just it's ridiculous. I'm sorry, Barbara, about losing your condo. Yeah, it's oh, I'm in Tennessee, Barbara. Tennessee definitely is not a state that is going to vote on anything proactive when it comes to insurance laws and what insurances are required to do. Heck, they didn't vote to expand Medicaid. they've dragged their feet on, like, marketplace options, like, this is not a consumer-friendly state by any means. Oh, I'm in the middle. I'm right in the middle north of Nashville, and, this is not a consumer-friendly state. In fact, they are trying well, no, we're not gonna talk about that, it's gonna be a whole whole 'nother subject. But, it's yeah, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, "You're kidding, right?" Like, I just it is 2022, and I have 2 pharmacies in my community, and one of them doesn't take I mean, and it's not like it's an uncommon insurance, right? Like, it's bizarre. It's just absolutely bizarre, so okay. I'm glad we had a chance to just kinda talk. It sounds like, you guys a lot of you guys are struggling with a lot, and I hate it, I really do. I don't know, guys. I mean, like I said, it just so many days I look at what's going on and I don't know, I know it's important to try to keep positive, and I don't wanna drag anybody down with me. Look, I struggle with depression too. It just should be obvious to anybody. I was seeing a therapist. I take medication for it, but I don't think it works anymore. I have to go see another rheumatologist in December. But, the depression has been a bit of a struggle, just seeing where how things are right now. It's yeah. Yep. My, my mom just went on Medicare a couple years ago. Yeah, that was a big thing. So, like, my mom has a lot of health issues. I'll never forget, my dad was working for a company in Kentucky, and after, his other company closed that he was trying to make it to retirement age with, and, he was working at this other company, and I can't remember what insurance they had, but she has, had to take blood thinners because she has, an arrhythmia in her heart, and they're worried she's gonna have stroke. Well, she started having complications from the blood thinners, and she kept having GI bleeds, like, to the point that they were gonna take her out if she kept having them. Like, they would make her dizzy and make her fall. She broke her shoulder one time because of blood loss, because of that, and so there is a device out there called the Watchman device. So everybody has a notch in their heart, and it's just like this little bitty notch that a blood clot can form in, and that's the big clot. That's a lot of reason people take blood thinners, because that clot, if it kicks off, is like causes major strokes. Like, that's normally when you're taking blood thinners and you have arrhythmias, that's what they're worried about, is that particular spot in your heart. The Watchman device is something they insert into that notch. It scars over and it makes it smooth so that a clot can't form there. And it just recently got approved, like, in the last 4 to 5 years, and, it's expensive because it's not a common surgery. It's becoming more common now, but my mom wouldn't have survived if she had stayed on blood thinners. They were gonna kill her. And so they were like, they were trying to get insurance to approve this Watchman device, and they wouldn't do it. They were thinking they could play the long game, and if they just let her basically, if they let her die, they wouldn't have to pay for anything else. But they were paying 3 times the amount every time she had to go in the hospital. And, finally, they approved it when he switched insurances, and she had it done the year COVID became a thing. It was 2020, and thank the Lord, she had it done March 13th. It was right before, like, COVID really became a thing. It was just becoming a thing. I was even wearing a mask at the hospital when she was sick. Like, I was already starting to wear a mask myself. But she had that done. She had a real bad bleed that weekend, and, had she that done not done that, I don't think she would be here. They were delaying surgeries and stuff right at that time, so had she not had it done, they would have delayed it. 6 months, I don't know, a year, who knows, and I truly don't think she would've made it. So, I'm so grateful that that worked out, but a couple months after she had it done, my dad got laid off. And so they had to pay for Cobra insurance. She still had another year and a half before she could qualify for Medicare. So they had to take it took a long time for my dad to find another job because of his age. And so they spent a year, it was a year and a half on Cobra, paying. Thankfully, they had a lot of savings. I was gonna pitch in, but my parents are stubborn. I would have pitched in if I had to, but she had to be on Cobra insurance for almost a year and a half before she switched over to Medicare, and it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous, and it was just such a rough time. I hate insurance companies so much. I hate them. I hate them. Hate them. Hate them. Transcranial magnetic stimulation. Huh. I'm sorry, Barbara. I know I started having problems with it when I was young. I mean, I was probably 22 or 23 when I really started having problems with it. And I dealt with it for the ever since then. I mean, it's been ups and downs, but like and now with fibro and stuff, like depression and insomnia with fibro is kinda like a chicken or egg situation, like, eh, my doctors always wanna tell me it's depression because I'm sick with fibro, and I keep telling them I had the depression before this came along, it just made it worse. So, I just I'll have to look at that, Brittany. I see a new rheumatologist in December. I only have 1 there's only 1 rheumatologist in my county, and they're terrible. Well, the whole group of doctors, they're terrible. I hate them. And, I don't feel like they've done their due diligence with me, and I just want to get somebody I trust to look over my numbers again, now that it's been a number of years since I got my formal diagnoses, just to make sure nothing's been missed. And so I made an appointment with a rheumatologist in Nashville. I made this appointment in June for December. Couldn't see me till December. And so, I'm gonna talk to him about that because I feel like he's going to be more willing to listen than my current doctor. So I will let me make a note of that because I do want to do some research on that. Yeah, Brittany, Loretta, the big thing would be is if any of the cities around her would have access to that kind of thing. So, um, like, I could see a, doctor in Nashville offering that, like, in a bigger city, but she is over in East Tennessee and not really, like, Northeast Tennessee. She's not even close to, like, Knoxville or anything. It might be kinda hard for her to find. Like, if I want anything of substance truly done, I'm going to have to go to Nashville to get it done just because even where I live, it's not ideal. Um, I take Savella right now for my depression. It is specifically it's supposed to be specifically targeted to help with fibro. And it's not a generic. There's no telling when they're gonna have a generic, so it is extremely expensive. And again, another problem I've had with my insurance companies has been battling over that med. So I have not wanted to go off of it because I'm afraid if I go off of it, the insurance company will never approve me going back on it if I needed to. However, in the last 6 months, I've noticed that I just don't feel like it's doing as well as it has, and I've maxed out the dose. So I'm gonna talk to the this guy and see if he has any recommendations for something else. I tried Cymbalta, it was awful. I had terrible side effects with it, and it's always interesting to me how unique medication is for everybody. Like, what works well for somebody, like, for somebody else, just because of their genetic makeup, they'll have terrible side effects. Like, I can understand as a doctor, it's gotta be extremely hard to be able to find the right type of medication for people without having to go through a lot of trials, so I do understand that. Um, but I'm gonna talk to him and see if he has anything because I've tried Cymbalta, I've tried Effexor, and both of them were, like, terrible side effects, so and I've tried all the regular SSRIs, so, like, Wellbutrin, Zoloft, Wellbutrin helped for a while, so maybe he might wanna put me back on that, it just didn't last. Zoloft, I've forgotten the other ones, Prozac, all them, just nah. Nah, they just they didn't do the they didn't help. Yep, Brittany, I believe that. I've tried the CBD gummies, Kim, when I was doing the insomnia stuff, and they did seem to work. It might be something that I look into. The reason I've kinda hesitated is I just because of the Savella knocks out a lot of things I can take, and I don't know how CBD reacts with Savella, like, if there's an issue taking those together. And another problem I've run into is I'm taking so many medications now, it's starting to affect my liver. So, I'm also taking milk thistle on top of everything else. And don't get me started on the fact that I had to go see that heart specialist earlier this year, got diagnosed with tachycardia, high heart rate, nobody seems to know why, and now I'm on 2 medications for that, which thankfully have worked. I'm taking verapamil and metoprolol, I think metoprolol, I don't know how you pronounce that, and fortunately, those have brought them down my heart rate down and have helped immensely. But like I said, I think those 2 were like the kicker for my liver. Like, now my liver's like, "Okay, now you got too much, and we're gonna have to talk about this." So, but, I hope not, Kim, but, like, milk thistle's a herb, and, that there are certain medications you're not supposed to take with that. Like, my mom, should take milk thistle, but she can't because she's on other meds that interact with it. So, like, actually, milk thistle can interact with Ambien. I take my milk thistle first thing in the morning, and then I take it can make the Ambien more, potent. So, I take it first thing in the morning, and then when I take my Ambien at night, it tells me to take the milk thistle twice a day, but I only take it in the mornings because I don't wanna cause any issues with my Ambien. See, it's a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it though? Like, it's when it comes to medications, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, and actually quite a bit of medicine, buspirone and amitriptyline. I used to take amitriptyline, my cats take amitriptyline now. Leroy actually takes it right now, which is funny. Um, Amitriptyline just never really did much for me, so we tried it for a while, and it just didn't seem to help with my we were trying it for my insomnia, and it just didn't seem to help me. Buspirone I do take. That is the only anxiety med I can take because of the Savella. They won't prescribe me anything else because of the med interactions. So buspirone's really all I can take, and what sucks about it is it burns fast. So, like, if I'm really anxious, I can take it and it'll help, but it only help for, like, a couple hours. Hi, Lauren, welcome. So glad you could drop by. We are just kinda chatting. We, did the giveaway, and I actually thought I was gonna end this, like, an hour ago, but we've all been kinda just sitting here chatting about life in general, and but I'm glad to see you. How's everything been going with you? I know you've been, pretty busy with life, so, hope everything's going great. Oh, yeah, medications are so wild. Was it Cymbalta? Oh, we had a Phillies fan on here earlier, so look out. Um, that's good though. I'm glad you're doing well. I But yeah, with the medications, was it Cymbalta I was taking for the anxiety? It was I don't think it was Cymbalta, it was something they gave me to take for the anxiety, and it had the exact opposite effect, and it made me more anxious. Like, I was sitting there, like, uh, bobbing my leg up and down, like, I just couldn't sit still, I was so wired, it was awful. Oh gosh. Yep. Well, that might be I mean, yeah, Loretta, that might be an idea. I know you've had a lot going on, so, maybe once things calm down, it's something you could try. I mean, that sounds I don't know how much of a difference that makes, but, it might. I've never heard of that med, so I'm not sure, what interactions it has. Oh my gosh. Alright. Well, I didn't realize that, I was gonna be talking so much. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up for the night, guys. It is getting close to the cat's meal time, and this would be a good time for me to go ahead and try to start settling down for the evening. But thank you guys for hanging around. Yeah. Kim's like, "Now, now." And I think I don't wanna keep Kim up past her bedtime, so yeah, it didn't last till 11, so that's good. But no, I'm gonna go get the kitties taken care of, and we're gonna oh, no problem, girl. Thank you for modding for me, you and Loretta both, and thank you, Brittany and Lauren and Barbara, and, thank you guys for just sitting here and chatting with me. Like I said, I feel kinda isolated here, so it's real nice to just get a chance to talk to everybody and find some common ground with some people. It feels like I don't get to do that too often, so y'all have a lovely evening, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye for now.